everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sacha Welsh, certified health coach and founder of Welsh Wellness. And today I am here to talk to you about the best prenatal vitamins that you can take for your pregnancy. If you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant and you don't know where to start with your prenatal vitamins, then keep on watching because I'm going to dive into what you should be looking for in your prenatal vitamins and why you should be looking for each of these things and how they depend on each individual. I'm here to calm those nerves when you go to the store and you see a boatload of prenatal vitamins and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. That's what I'm here for, and I'm here to calm those nerves and get you going on the right ones that are for you, girlfriend. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first thing that you should be looking for in your prenatal vitamin is folate or folic acid. Now, I do want to say quickly, there's actually a difference between folate and folic acid. They're used interchangeably, but really they should not be. Look for a prenatal vitamin ideally that has folate instead of folic acid, and here is why. So folate is the naturally occurring form of vitamin B9. So we want to look for folate as opposed to folic acid because of that reason. It's the naturally occurring form of it. So when we ingest folate, we easily metabolize it and our body converts it into the B9 version that we want to use for growing a healthy baby. Now, folic acid is actually the synthesized version of vitamin B9, which basically means it's a processed version, and that's the version that is often found in supplements. So you're at the store and you see all the prenatal vitamins and you look behind and they almost all say folic acid. It's usually found in a supplement form. So really try and look for a pill. Go to a health food store if you need to. Really find a good source of one that says folate as opposed to folic acid. Even better if it says vitamin B9, that's awesome too. So because folic acid is the synthesized version of vitamin B9, it doesn't always convert into the active version that we're looking for once we digest it into our bodies. However, but, there is a big one here. If you cannot find anything with folate on it, or for some reason your doctor is encouraging you to take this form of prenatal vitamins that has folic acid, blah, 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 you can actually convert it better into the active form of vitamin B9 if you take it with other B vitamins. So maybe check with your doctor on that and see if you can take another supplement with, it's basically an all B vitamin supplement that you can take along with your prenatal vitamin that has folic acid so that your folic acid can actually convert into vitamin B9 once digested. Now, I'm here going on and on about folate versus folic acid, but you're probably wondering, why do I even need to look for this nutrient? Like, what is folate? What is folic acid? Like, what is it going to do? Basically, it has been shown in studies that pregnant women with low levels of folate in their bodies have been linked to having birth defects within their babies. So mainly the neural tube defects can occur if you have a low level of folate. So it's very important to get this before you start trying, but especially in the first trimester. Okay, so the next nutrient that you want to look for, so this is nutrient number 2. The second nutrient that you want to look for in your prenatal vitamin is vitamin D. Honestly, if you ask me, this vitamin is not talked about enough. It does wonders for our bodies, pregnant or not, but especially when you're pregnant, you know what it does? It helps to regulate your pain sensitivity, which basically means if you're that crunchy mom that wants to have a supernatural birth with no epidurals, no interventions, you need to be taking vitamin D because that is going to give you a less chance of requesting an epidural or having any other intervention during your labor. Now, for you other moms that are looking forward to the epidural because you're just too scared of labor and you don't know what type of pain you're going to be able to handle, totally fine. Still take vitamin D because it actually does a lot more than just your pain nerve sensitivity. It helps you to absorb calcium and vitamin A, and it actually has a huge impact on just our cells, period. So pregnant or not, vitamin D helps our cells. It keeps our cells super healthy, and when we're creating a baby, we're creating their cells as well while trying to manage our cells. Vitamin D is amazing, so you definitely want to look for a prenatal vitamin that has a sufficient amount of vitamin D. So to expand on that a little bit, when I say sufficient amount, I mean a lot. So most prenatal vitamins come with roughly 400 international units, which is IUs that you're going to see on your pill. 400 international units is really what you're going to see in most prenatal vitamins. But if you're one of those that lives in a climate where there's a winter and a fall and a spring and the sun isn't booming all year round and you're not getting the natural form of vitamin D from the sun, then you may need to look at taking vitamin D in addition to what you're going to be getting from the prenatal vitamin. So to explain that a little bit, that depends on more than just the climate you live in. It also depends on the color of your skin. Everyone demands a different amount of vitamin D. You can get this tested through your blood. I have never done that. I just always take as much as I feel like my body needs based on my education, but this is something you may want to talk to your doctor about. So if your prenatal vitamin is only providing, let's say, 400 international units, and you're darker skinned like me, then you may want to look at taking an additional 2,000 international units minimum. So like I said, this depends on a lot of things. If you have any questions, this is totally an individual attention topic, but definitely vitamin D is an important one for your prenatal vitamins. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about that you should be looking for in your prenatal vitamins, this is number 3, but I'm going to be talking about 2 different nutrients here. So you need to look for calcium and iron. So I'm saying both of them at the same time because it is important to have calcium as well as iron, but this is a big but. They totally conflict with each other. Calcium and iron basically act like this all the time if they're taken at the same time. So you want to look for a prenatal vitamin that doesn't have too high of a calcium intake as well as a really high iron intake. You need them to be like this, whether it's calcium or iron, and then you can take the other supplements separately. Now, usually when you're pregnant, especially in your 2nd and 3rd trimesters, a lot of pregnant women experience a huge decrease in their iron, and that's just because the baby is super, super demanding. We're pumping so much blood during the 2nd and 3rd trimesters that our bodies cannot make enough for the baby anymore. So we need to take supplements because we're not getting enough of it from our foods. So in a case like that, whenever you take anything iron, if you're eating iron-rich foods or you're taking an iron supplement, do not take it at the same time as a calcium supplement, or if you're taking it with a prenatal vitamin that has a very high calcium dosage, or if you're eating a calcium-rich food. You want to wait 2 hours in between taking a calcium and an iron supplement or food because they do not interact well with each other and you will not absorb any of the iron. It's mainly iron that you're not going to absorb if you're taking them at the same time. And iron and pregnancy, if there's one thing you take away from this, know that iron is super important during your pregnancy. You know what? Iron is so important that I'm probably going to do a whole video just talking about how important it is and what it can actually do for your pregnancy and what it can prevent. So let's talk about that on another day, but know that calcium and iron need to be taken 2 hours apart, and if you have a prenatal vitamin that has high dosage of both, you need to look elsewhere because then you're not going to get much from that prenatal vitamin at all. So before I quickly end, I'm going to talk about why calcium. So calcium obviously helps the baby's growth and development. It helps with all the bone formation and lots of other things, whereas iron helps with our blood cell development. We do not want to have a low iron count when we're pregnant, especially before delivery, because there's a whole bunch of risks that can happen during the birth and recovery process that we want to completely avoid. So those 2 for sure are what you want to look for as well in your prenatal vitamins. Okay guys, so that's it from me today. I hope you found that useful. So for a quick recap, you want to look for 4 main things in your prenatal vitamin. 1 is folate, not folic acid. 2 is vitamin D. 3 and 4 are calcium and iron. Those are the 4 main things. There are lots of other prenatal vitamins that include many other vitamins and minerals that are super beneficial and are great, and that's fine. But those are the main ones you want to look for, and you want to look at the dosage of each one before you purchase that prenatal vitamin. If you have any more questions, please comment below, ask away, I'm happy to answer. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos on preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum health. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Talk to you later.